Hey, Danny Boyle here from Songwriters International. Welcome to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on songwriting, production, and your royalties. Okay, now in this video, we're going to be talking all about what makes a radio-ready song. Okay, those songs that you hear on the radio that you think are great, that are just so catchy, that get stuck in your head and you can't get them out. Okay, that do insanely successfully. What makes them so good? All right, and I've had this question a lot and I want to break this down in this video. Okay, what I see the common trends are that makes these songs so effective. So if you're ready, I'm going to dive into this. We're going to break it down in each step, and I think this is going to be super valuable for you, for your songwriting, to be able to write those quality songs. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I see as a common pattern throughout all of these songs is they have what we would call a catchy, repetitive, melodic hook. Okay, that gets stuck in the listener's head. If you think about it, these songs are played on radio a lot of the time, you know, multiple times throughout the day and a lot of times throughout the week. Okay, so they need to be catchy. They need to get stuck in the listener's head. If they're not, you know, the listeners are not going to be tuning into that radio if that song's being played all the time, right? Theoretically. So it needs that first of all. Okay, so make sure you're making notes on this. Every radio ready song needs a good, catchy, repetitive, melodic hook. If you can do that, you are well on your way to writing a really good song. And the way that I look at this is that if your song didn't have any lyrics and it only consisted of melody, it should still be catchy. Okay, it needs the melody to be able to be the hook. Okay, then the lyric will add to that, and we're going to be diving into that in a second. So that is the first thing. The second thing that I see is a storytelling lyric. Okay, a lyric that tells a story, whether it's a simple story said in a very simple way, or whether it's a story said in a much more descriptive way. Okay, let's give an example. So a lyric, let's say the lyric was all about saying to somebody you love them. Some songs sometimes will just say, I love you, and that's a lyric said in the simplest way. Then a more descriptive way of saying that might be saying what you love about them. Okay, the descriptive things to why you love them. So whatever it be, your story needs to be told in your song, because melody alone is not going to get you all the way. You need then to back it up with a lyric. Okay, whether you say it in a simple way or a more descriptive way, it's totally up to you, whatever works best for your song. But that's what I see a lot of these songs, especially on the radio, again, have this in common. And then what every single song that is on radio needs is a production. Okay, unfortunately, acoustic demos or acoustic versions of songs don't very often get played on radio, especially the very commercial radios at the top. They want great productions. Okay, so if you don't have this, whether you're an artist or a songwriter wanting to have your songs taken by artists, if you don't have the radio ready productions, it's going to be hard then to get it taken into the commercialized space of radio. Okay, so you need to either produce or have someone around you who produces to a high level, because it needs to maybe have some additional hooks in the production. It might have what we call a post-chorus instrumental hook. Okay, where it's all just instrumental, but it has a hook in it. Okay, it needs to be up to a high quality, because you are also competing with other people. Other people want that space on the radio as well. Okay, so that's why production is a fundamental. It needs to be up to a good standard. Go and listen to those songs now that are on radio and listen to those productions. You will see that each one of them is up to a very good standard, and secondly, they are not really an acoustic production. They are quite full. They have drums, they have synths, they might have the pianos and the guitars and the backing vocals, and then layered, all these different things, layered vocals, things like that. And they all come together to make, as I would say, a radio ready production. So those three things I would identify as crucial. okay, I would identify as a common pattern in every radio-ready song. And as I say, if I go over those again, a catchy, repetitive, hooky, melodic hook. A storytelling lyric that either tells the story in a simple way, like I said before, I love you, or it might be a more descriptive way where you actually identify what you love about the person and you say it like that. And thirdly, a high quality production. Okay, if you can tick all those boxes, those three things, you will be well on your way. But you also may be asking, okay, Danny, sounds cool, but what about rhyming? What about the right vocalist? What about structure? What about chord progressions? All those things. Yes, they are important, okay? But you can have the best rhyme in the world, but not a very strong melodic hook and not a very strong lyric. And, you know, that's going to be a bigger issue, okay? So if we simplify songwriting, those three things are what we would identify as some of the most important things. Structure is additional. You know, if you look at rhyming, that's additional. Chord progressions. You could play the same chord progressions for every song that you write, but as long as your melody is different and the story of the song is different, then that is going to be fine, okay? And then you have the production to add different flavors to it, okay? And one really big important thing I would stress for any songwriter, any creative, when you take a song to the production, all you are doing is producing the song that you have written, okay? So never go to a production thinking, okay, well, I have a good song, but I'm going to rely on the production to make it everything it needs to. You need to make sure that the acoustic version or however you've written it is as strong as possible before then you go ahead and produce it, okay? So never rely on your song to come to life and be as strong as it can be just in the production. You need to make sure the earlier stages in the creation of the song is as good as it can be, okay? So they're the three things that I would recommend for you to go ahead and start really prioritizing when writing your songs, and you will see a big change in your writing. Don't get too overwhelmed with the other areas of songwriting and home in on those three. So I hope that's helped. Like I say, if you haven't already, hit subscribe on this channel. Tune in for more videos. Also down below, we've got a free training, which I have opened up, which is all about songwriting, production, and things on that. So if that sounds of interest, head down below, sign up for the training. It's completely free, and it will share everything else you may need to know. So I've been Danny Boyle here from Songwriters International, and I'll see you over on the next video.